Harmonious hellos. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the first episode of Concert of the Chords.
Yeah.
Today we have the Queen of Quavers, Kirsten of the Key Signatures, the Long of the Chords.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
You want to tell everyone about yourself?
My name is Kirsten Long, spelled as Kirstenlong. I'm a musician, singer-songwriter, as well as an actress. Fun fact about me was that I was classically trained on the piano as a kid, but I played a lot of other instruments as well. I played the guitar growing up because my dad is a self-taught guitarist, so we listened to a lot of rock stuff and all that lah. And when I went to university, I actually studied jazz. Then I got into vocals and pretty much sing all genres that I fancy. Yeah.
Last night when we were having dinner, she was telling us about how she wants her students, she's a teacher.
That's right, I teach music as well. Yeah.
To improvise and understand why scales and chords and everything are important.
Yeah.
And you said you had a hard time getting them to understand because what you saw as a child was your dad. So
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, the whole I was very fascinated with the whole what it means to play a solo and what it means to improvise. So my dad, as lead guitarist, you play a lot of riffs and then you play a lot of solos when they start shredding, and it looks really, really cool, and I never really understood what that was. So it was like my dream or like my destiny to be able to like break that down and eventually teach the kids that it's doable, it's easy, and yeah, it can sound cool. Yeah.
You want to tell them how we met?
Oh yeah. We met. Okay, I'm a huge board game fan as well. I play a lot of board games with my friends and family. So I was like scrolling through Instagram one day, and then I saw, what is this? I saw a lot of like famous musicians that are like the international musicians. Then I saw these few Chinese fellas, Chinese boys. I was like, okay, they were holding this box that had a piano on it, and they had like really cool cards. I was like, what? And then there were huge fonts saying that music theory game. So I was like super intrigued because I'm all about trying to look for fun ways to break down the mundane studying of music. Because when I grew up, a lot of people say that I have to go and practice piano, and that's a chore. Although sometimes I do find it a little bit of a chore because it's very tedious, but I think there are always more fun ways to implement these studies. So yeah, when I found out about Lord of the Chords, I'm more Lord of the Chords. I mean, who doesn't like that? I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. So Lord of the Chords, like, no, yes, please, I want. So straight up DM'd him. I messaged him like, hi, I'm a huge fan. What is this? I want a piece of this. So that's basically how it started.
Yeah, and then we started talking more, and I remember we had the launch party, so I asked her to come because she stays in Malaysia, we stay in Singapore, but turns out she had a gig that night, which is great as well, great for her.
Thank you.
But then we thought, since you can't come to that, why not I go to Malaysia?
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Then I remember she said, oh yeah, we'll do some videos.
Yeah.
We'll record us playing. Then I was like, oh yeah, sure. She'll probably take our phone and stuff. Right? And then we got there. Then I was like, oh my god. Because her boyfriend, Ian Stephen Ong, ISO.
Yes,
you gotta come in the shot. See what he's doing right now. How professional he is.
You guys will see
he has
some
like
of
the
the
gorilla
B-rolls.
cam and everything. Yeah. When I got there, they had the freaking boomer mic, and then
big lights,
and
several cameras.
And then another microphone here, another microphone there. Yeah, and then they were like, A-roll, B-roll, ready.
Yeah, that's right. Because when he approached me about wanting to play test the game itself, so I thought that was a great opportunity to be able to make good content, to showcase how great this game is. Plus, this game's great, man. Have you seen the cards?
Yeah. But I remember you were so tired at the end of the day. You were like, oh.
Yeah, it was a long day. It was a long day of teaching, and then we went to Meeple's Board Game Cafe and SS15 in PJ, and yeah.
And the game can get very difficult when you're playing with other hardcore musicians.
That's right. I mean, it's like what time was it when we started playing? It was like 9-10 o'clock at night. Then we had to plow through key signatures, understanding your chords. On top of that, you have cards to kind of defeat other people to not get those chords. So it was a good time.
I love how your third song, Topsy Turvy, had like a few key changes, right?
No, there were no key
No?
changes per se. No. Yes. I do. It starts in the key of C,
Yeah.
and then it modulates to the key of D
Yeah.
for a short period of time, and then it goes back.
And then the bridge, you
to
go
C.
somewhere else as well,
I
right?
go into the relative minor, A
Yeah.
minor of C. That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quite methodical when it comes to making my songs as well. Yeah, there is a structure to it, and then the whole classical aspect of going through modulation is also applied.
So,
Yeah.
what's your songwriting process?
My process?
Yeah, if you have one.
That's a good question. It differs from time to time.
Hmm.
It truly differs from time to time. Like for Topsy Turvy, I wrote it when I felt exactly like the title. yeah. Then I'm like, okay, I want to kind of put these feelings down, and I was playing around with this chord change, which is C, E minor, yeah, C. But strange, right? Usually we don't use chord 3 in
Yeah, we use
in
chord
C major.
5.
Yeah, exactly. We use a lot of the primary chords, which is 1, C, 4, F, 5, G. But I'm one to always kind of break the rules a bit. So I'm like, no, you know what? I'm gonna add an E minor into it.
And if
see
you're
how
only
it
using
goes.
these two chords, it's like you're in G major at the same time as being in C major.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's
Oh.
right. I think that's why
In
it felt
between.
like it needed to go to kind of D major sound with an F sharp in it. Yeah.
That works.
This is super geeky lah.
You'll love this. You'll love this stuff.
yeah.
Right. And then I remember you're very bold and you say, at the end of the filming day, you asked, can we have 2 prototypes?
Oh yeah, that's right. At the end of the day, I'm like, of course I want my hands on those because I teach kids as well. I teach music, so it was a pretty interesting time to be able to implement this in my classes. So it has been how long since we've met? About
December, so 7 months now.
was December, meh?
Should be.
Where didn't we meet in January? No.
Or might be January.
Because the Kickstarter launch was in
February. Yeah.
February. We met
Might be
a
January.
month before. So
January. So 6
6 months. 6 months. So my students had about 6 months to play the game, and they really, really enjoyed it.
What's it been like? So I know you had to take some cards out because it's too advanced for them. And,
Yes, that's
what,
right.
What age are they and what grades, if you take grades?
Okay, so my current batch that I'm testing this game out with, there are 10 to 12, and they are at about grade 3, grade 4 level of understanding. Yeah, so they don't understand 6 sharps and 6 flats yet, but those keys go in anyway because the circle of fifths, that system is the same way is applied to calculating your notes and chords.
Right.
So, but they don't understand chords. Like there are cards like major 7 and minor 7 steel cards. So that I had to take away first for them to understand what it means to build the basic triads of all 7 degrees of the scale. Yeah, so those cards came out first, and then I placed it back in when they understood their intervals a little better. Like what's a major 7 from the tonic to the 7th note of the major scale to the tonic to the 7th note of the minor scale. So then from there, I had to slowly put in what it means to also use the harmonic minor, which is the raised leading note. Yeah, the raised 7th note of the scale, and as well as melodic minor. But that
so
took
I think
over
they
a
don't
few
understand
months.
this. So in the game, there's key signatures, and everyone knows you have to play in key. That's the rule of the game.
That's right, diatonic.
But the other side of the major keys are the minor keys, and in the minor keys, you're allowed to raise the 6th and 7th.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what she's talking about.
But we started by just following the key signatures for both major and minor. Yeah.
Natural minor.
Natural minor, that's right.
Actually. Right. And then did they get all the jokes or a lot of it goes over the head?
I think they were really competitive.
Ah.
So they understood, like the ones with the scale degrees, like tonic with the fillers
The
with ones and twos and threes and fours. Yeah, they really enjoyed that one. The Star Wars reference. Yeah, they quite
This
enjoyed
card is
that.
out of the game now.
Yeah. Oh no.
Join the dark side.
Yeah, but otherwise, I think because they were super competitive and they were very drawn into how funny the cards look like, whether or not they understood it. The reference, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you find is their favorite card?
Their favorite card.
Yeah.
They like the cards where they can get more cards.
Mozart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Beethoven.
Mozart, Beethoven. Yeah, they like that one as well. As well as the, surprisingly, as well as the time signature cards, where they get to draw more cards.
Right.
Yeah. Because they're always fighting over getting cards.
I see.
It has come to a point where they will tell me that, okay, Miss Kirsten, you don't have to play with us because you win. So I'll let them handle it themselves. Yeah.
Right. And then last night we had this one idea where we said to incentivize them to focus more and to not give up so easily when they are encountering difficult things during class.
Yeah, that's
At
right.
the end of the class, when you play the game,
Yeah.
you'll reward them with like a short punt card or a 4-4 card, which they like.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. In fact, at the end of our classes, I always get them to play this game because kids like to play games. They don't like thinking of class as being tedious, and you have to sit down and sit straight, and you have to behave yourself. So usually if it's an hour's class, the last 30 minutes, the next half of the class will be for the game.
We're going to the end tail of this really.
Yeah.
So what's your big dream as a musician, just as Kirsten Long?
As Kirsten Long, personally, in my life, I want to have my face on a billboard somewhere in the world. I don't know where, how am I going to get there, but it's going to get there one day. Now, of course, hopefully I'll get my music out there as well.
Believe it.
Yes.
Yeah. And if people want to find you on social media, where's the one place they should go?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Kirsten Long SY.
Alright. And if they don't like Instagram, they can go to?
You can also go to Facebook, which is Kirsten Long SY. If you want to check out my videos on YouTube, it's also at Kirsten Long SY.
So thanks so much for this. I hope we can do this again.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bye.